Tom Nelson, an American Archer. Hi, and welcome to Dead Downwind's American Archer. I'm Tom Nelson. You know, it's the middle of winter here. It's time to get out of Dodge. And by that, I mean head to a warmer climate. I'm going to head to Florida, packing my gear here today. We're once again hunting with guy Tom Walker down in Florida. Land of a lot of feral pigs. Believe me, they're a nuisance animal. They're a real problem down there. They do lots of damage. So we're going down to be the conservationists that we are and try to exterminate some pigs once again this year. And one thing I want to talk about today is packing for a trip like this to Florida. First of all, with your bow hunting gear, you want the best case you can get, which is an SKB. This case will take all the abuse that those baggage handlers can give you, believe me. And if they can wreck something, no matter how fragile it is, they'll do it. They'll destroy it if at all possible. So get a good case like this SKB and take advantage of the roominess of this case. Besides your bow and your arrows and quiver, put extra things like your broadheads. I'm throwing some packets in there. I'll also put like spare underwear, t-shirts, camo t-shirt, hat, everything that I can cram in this. Take advantage of that extra space. Should my other bag get lost, I've got enough stuff in my SKB that I can go hunting when I arrive in Florida. Let my other bag catch up with me. So take advantage. Always double pack some gear. You don't have to put all your clothes in here, but take enough to get by till your other clothing catches up. And speaking about catching up, let's go catch up with last year's hunt down in Florida where we're hunting feral pigs. Well, it's day number 1 here in South Florida, the state that seems to have been under drought conditions most years. This year they've been getting an overabundance of rain. It's rained every day pretty much, and about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, right in there, these thunderstorms roll in. So we've just been watching the lightning strikes and the downpours, and we're kind of biding our time here, not in any hurry to get in our stand, because we don't want to get soaked. Well, not soaked right away at least, but this looks like it's starting to pass us, and that we should be able to get out there without getting too wet. So we're going to make our move, head on into the swamp here, climb up in a tree stand for our first afternoon of Florida pig hunting, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Come follow me. Starting to get a little uncomfortable up here. Watch some lightning strikes off to our west here. Thunder's getting louder. And a tree stand is no place to be hanging on to a bow. Well, a tree stand, even without a bow, is not a good place to be. Matter of fact, out in the woods during a lightning storm isn't perhaps a good place to be. So if it gets much closer, we're going to bail out of here. It's not that important to get a pig our first night, especially with ominous weather like this moving in. God, this is just a beautiful, beautiful place, though. The palmettos, the swamps we had to wade through to get back here, the egrets that we saw. But if it stays like this, if it gets any worse, we're gonna have to get out of here just for safety reasons. Pig or no pig. Stay tuned for perhaps some Florida fried Nelson. You know, going to Florida, I never figured on torrential rain, etc. I was thinking blue skies, sunshine, every day, nice warm weather. And the nice warm weather was there, but those rain showers threw me all off my game. And it did the pigs too. That first night, nothing showed up. And I wouldn't either. I mean, in a hard rain like that, I wanted to hunker down, and so did the pigs, and they did. But as I promised, I want to give you a couple other packing tips. And one of them, this is something you might never even think about, but is common practice in my camp. When I travel, I take a Yeti cooler with me. And I take it for a couple different reasons. One is obvious. It's a cooler. It's a great way of bringing meat back if you're successful on a hunt. But another reason I take the Yeti cooler is it's a great piece of luggage. The first thing I do when I know I'm going on a trip, I want to get all my clothing prepped. By prepped, I mean I want all my clothing scent-free. So I wash it in the dead downwind detergent. Once I know it's all scent-free, instead of throwing it in, let's say, your duffel bag or whatever with all kinds of other things, I want it to stay scent-free. I throw it in my Yeti cooler. I mean, look at the seal on this thing. It's like throwing it in a scent-free container. And I'll use some of the dead down wipes, and I'll wipe out the inside of this just to make sure it's scent-free, of course, wash it out well. But I put my clothing in here. It's a great way to pack. And I do a couple other things. I take anything that's fragile that I know that I definitely can't get beat up, such as a cutty bag. I like to take these cutty bags with me on these trips, to get pictures, see what's coming in at the different stands. I can take this cutty bag, place it in the Yeti with my clothing, knowing again that it's going to be protected and not damaged. The same can be said for bulky things, such as my hunter safety system. I can put this hunter safety system in there. Again, it doesn't take up any room in my duffel bag. Easy way of getting it down there and getting it in good condition. You might ask, so you get all that gear down there, Tom, how are you going to get it back? It's pretty simple, really. I take a lightweight canvas duffel bag. I can crush it up. It folds pretty small, and I stick that inside the Yeti, too. So if I'm fortunate to fill up this Yeti with a bunch of meat on the way back, and in this case, hopefully some pork chops, I can simply take my duffel bag, open it up, stuff any of the gear that's normally would be in here, put it in that duffel bag for that trip back. Another piece of luggage, but I'm able to get my stuff back, and I'm able to bring my meat home by using this Yeti cooler. Now, back to the hunt. We're real excited to be down here. It's July, it's quite hot, but you say the pig hunting's great, huh?
The pig hunting's been very good, very good.
Excellent.
Yep.
And we're on a ranch. This is in Florida again, folks, and it's not a high fence operation. These are wild feral hogs, Florida hogs. Tom's got how many acres here on this one piece?
Just under 4,000 on this one piece.
On this piece, and you have several pieces
of property.
Yeah,
we have just under 20,000 total in Florida.
That's a lot of pig hunting room, I'm telling you.
Yes, it is.
And on this piece that we're hunting, you've got how many stands, tree stands?
12 tree stands.
12 tree stands, so there's lots of room to move. And the nice part about this is Tom is an avid and accomplished bow hunter, understands what it takes. And Tom's operation, Arrowhead Outfitters, is a bow hunting only pig operation. So you don't have to worry about guys chasing around with guns or these animals being spooked. He does a real low-keyed approach to pig hunting. You sneak in, you sneak out. He has stands, he doesn't bother them. There's no big bang noises going on with guns going off, and you don't hunt them real hard. You take small groups of hunters, correct?
Typically 6 or less.
6 or less.
Yep.
And like you said, lots of room to move. We're hunting this one piece here, about 4,000 acres. And lots of hogs. I mean, we've seen a lot of tracks just today since the rain yesterday. So
yes, we have.
So normally mornings and evenings are the best time, you said, because of the heat. They like to move.
Typically, this time of year, the last hour of the evening, they get hungry from laying in the water all day. Yep. They haven't had anything to eat. They don't have sweat glands, so they're trying to keep themselves cool. And in doing so, they don't get anything to eat. Okay. So as soon as the weather cools down, they move on.
They expect movement.
Yep.
Okay. We're real anxious to get out there hunting. Today's going to be our first good afternoon, it looks like. If this is good, it's 93 degrees and the mercury is still rising. So it's going to be a hot, sweaty day of pig hunting here. But that's what we're doing.